Hello beautiful people, happy Wednesday and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Tamara and I'm so excited you decided to hang out with me today. So I am back for another Wellness Wednesdays video, and today I decided that I wanted to talk about mental health and motherhood. I'm a mother. I'm also a bonus mom to a teenager, but I really want to focus on my journey over these past 3 years. I have a 3-year-old daughter. She was born February 2020, literally like 2 to 3 weeks before everything shut down. And she was born 2 weeks early. So praise the Lord. I haven't really spoken or shared my birth story. And there are still a lot of emotional wounds that are open around that. So I don't know, maybe one day I will actually share it, but it comes with a lot of thought, a lot of feelings around that topic. But something that I have always found very interesting is after I gave birth, people would ask, are you dealing with postpartum depression? Have you dealt with postpartum depression? And I always found that really difficult to answer because I've battled depression before, getting pregnant, before having a baby. And the bouts of depression that I did go through while being pregnant and after giving birth really had nothing to do with motherhood at all, but all of the baggage that I was already carrying. So it was always a really interesting experience for me. I also thought that my experience was unique because, like I said, I was a new first-time mom. And then the world completely changed. So all of the emotions that I had, concerning my birth experience and even my pregnancy, I literally had to put those emotions to the side because I basically went into survival mode. I think all of us, did. We didn't know what was happening, what was going on. So really, it wasn't until maybe a year, even 2 later, I'm still dealing with those emotions, really unpacking that experience and trying to navigate what I felt back then and what I feel right now. And it's also been challenging to, separate what I have experienced in the past with what I have experienced in motherhood. I'm not sure if I need to separate it, but it's just been an interesting place to live, So when it comes to my mental health, there are many things that I'm walking through, that I've been walking through prior to becoming a mother. And now my motherhood journey has just added an extra layer on top of that. And today I really want us to discuss this concept of losing yourself in motherhood. This is a concept that always grieved me when I would see so many women attach themselves to this idea of losing themselves in motherhood. But before you become a mother, it's like you can't really say anything because mothers will pounce on you. But that is just like a conviction that I had. And then I became a mother, and a few months into my motherhood journey, I did a podcast episode about motherhood and how it was going for me and what I felt. And I remained true to that idea of not losing myself in motherhood. For me, I didn't feel like I lost anything or anything was taken away from me. I felt like I gained, I elevated, I entered into this new era of womanhood, really. And I think that sometimes in culture, when things become popular, I don't know if that's the right word to use, but when things become normalized, we can sometimes attach ourselves to that thing. It becomes an expectation. So I think a lot of women go into motherhood expecting to lose themselves. And I have really been learning the power of words. Man, the power of words. The Bible says that death and life lies in the power of the tongue. And we hear that so often, but a lot of the times we don't actually reflect on what these things mean and get a revelation about it. Because when we think about it, when God created the world, he spoke everything into existence. That's how powerful words are. So I think the danger in attaching ourselves to things that become normalized is that we force ourselves into an experience, and not just motherhood. It could be anything. So I'm just really passionate about women being conscious about not losing themselves in motherhood. Not to say that it doesn't happen, but don't go into motherhood with that expectation. And I think it all comes down to a grounding of what motherhood is for you. What does it mean to you? And that begins with having a grounding in yourself. Who are you? What are your values? What do you believe? What do you like and dislike? Of course, life is always moving forward. There are so many ups and downs, but I think when you have an intention to really know yourself and better yourself and explore yourself, when you enter into a new season of life, it's easier to move in that transition. Had I not already been on this journey of healing and transformation, man, these past 3 years would have been 100 times harder. I truly believe that. And it's not to say that I haven't felt like I've lost pieces of me during this time, but 95% of it really has nothing to do with motherhood. But I also want us to come into this understanding of change and how we evolve and letting things go, because I am different. I'm not the same woman that I was prior to becoming a mother. You do walk into a newness, and sometimes that can be hard to really navigate because we have been conditioned to think that it's a bad thing, but it's a beautiful thing to really shed those layers of yourself that you no longer need. Many times we hold on to parts of ourselves and parts of our past that can really hinder us in the future, can really hinder us in, the present time that we are living right now. I'm continuing to discover new things about myself, and motherhood teaches me so much. It also reveals and uproots a lot of things, a lot of trauma that I had kind of buried and I needed to look at and face. And, that's hard and that's difficult. But like I said before, it really helps already being on this path of healing and self-discovery. You may not be healing from anything, but always discovering who you are, who has God designed you to be. I think that is so important, just as a human in general. And something else very interesting that I noticed when I first became pregnant was the loneliness that you can feel during pregnancy, even after pregnancy. No matter how much support you have and how many people are around you, your experience is yours alone. It's just this really intimate journey that you go on with your body, with your child, and with God. And at times it does feel extremely lonely. And those are the moments where I really have to lean on God and focus on Him and ask Him to reveal things in me, reveal things to me, give me the strength, give me the courage to continue to walk through this journey with joy. I know that my experience would have been different had I not become a first-time mom in 2020. I know that, but I also know that this experience would still have been very unique to me. So I try not to allow that thought to weigh me down, but I really want to encourage moms to be grounded. It's great advice to say, ask for help. but sometimes you may not have that luxury, especially in 2020. It was literally me, my husband, and my baby just in our apartment for, I don't know, like the first 3 months. And then, we moved home to my home in Buffalo, but I still felt, I don't know, I didn't feel like I could really ask for help because of the time that we were living in. Everybody was just, staying at home, keeping their distance. Of course, I had my dad at the house, so that was a help. My younger brother was at the house too, and then of course my husband. But it was just not the experience that I always envisioned that I would have. And that's okay. That's okay. But even aside from, a global pandemic, some people may not have that help. Some people may not have those resources. So I really want to empower you to ground yourself. Who are you? Who has God made you to be? What is your purpose in motherhood? Because I believe that God really does grace us with a purpose in our motherhood journeys, just like in every other journey of our life. Like I said, motherhood has just added an extra layer to who I am as a woman, but also to the struggles that I have with mindset and insecurity and self-esteem. So self-reflection is important. Healing is important. And there are so many ways that you can live that out. For me, it's about my relationship with God and reading the word and seeking his face and spending time in prayer, even when I don't want to. Even when I don't want to, it's about journaling and really taking a breath. It's about nourishing my mind, nourishing my body as well. This is why I'm always talking about cultivating an atmosphere of wellness in your mind, your body, and your spirit. How you show up or don't show up is expressed in every area of your life. So my mental well-being meant a lot to me before becoming a mom, but so much more because I have a little girl, and the many struggles that I have had over the years, I don't want to impart that on her. I want her to see a woman who is intentional about living well. I also want her to see a woman that is intentional about doing the work to really cultivate wellness. The thoughts that I used to let control me, the habits that I would give into, I am even more so now committed to breaking the chains, stopping the cycles, because I know that somebody is watching me. I feel a greater responsibility. I think we all know how important it is for mothers to take care of themselves, but I think many times that can fall flat and it's very superficial, making sure you have a spa day, making sure you go and get your hair done. And those are great things. You should be taking care of yourself externally, but start internally, because that is always going to bleed out. What are you doing internally? Are you going to therapy? Are you journaling? Are you really thinking about your thoughts and questioning them? Are you praying and really trying to listen and hear God speak to you? Are you moving your body? Are you eating well? Because many people lack the understanding that nutrition has so much to do with our mind. Moving our body has so much to do with our emotions and our overall health. These are the things that we really need to be focused on. These are the things that, they need to teach in school so that we know how to show up for ourselves. So it's not just, go and get your nails done, or, making sure you lock the door and you have an hour to take a bath, in your apartment. All great things that you can do that can, put you at peace. But it's time to really pull back the layers and do that deep work that really feels uncomfortable at times, because so many of us are struggling. And for those who aren't yet mothers, who desire to be mothers, this is the time. This is the time to really build yourself, to nourish yourself, because man, this is a beautifully challenging journey. So I'm excited to hear from you all. What has your motherhood journey been like, especially if you became a first-time mom in 2020 like me? Like, I really want to know, because this has been such a unique experience for all of us. So yeah, let me know, how has your journey been? Leave your comments down below. So thank you so much for tuning in for another video. I hope you guys have been encouraged. Until next time, peace, love, and light. Oh yeah, don't forget to subscribe. Y'all subscribe to my channel. Okay, let's grow. Okay, bye.